Technology is truly an amazing thing. From ablative armor to compact jump packs, every pilot bristles with artifacts of high-tech warfare. Give someone a gun that aims itself, however, and the complaints never end. This time, we're covering the Smart Pistol Mark 5. This 5th generation weapon system is designed to integrate perfectly with the Titan pilot platform, taking advantage of the optical sensors, heads-up display, and IFF capability. This means much of the targeting work is offloaded to your suit, and as such, the Smart Pistol is relatively low-tech in appearance, not too dissimilar to a conventional handgun. In fact, the gun provides little more than a simple point-and-click interface. Most of the fancy electronics is hidden within the weapon's projectile. The Mark 5 fires an advanced 9mm round, with an onboard guidance system steering it towards a pre-programmed target. The system is fired with a conventional charge, with micro thrusters capable of adjusting the bullet mid-flight. While underpowered as a conventional cartridge, the Smart Pistol is designed on the premise that even a small caliber can be critically effective when striking the right spot. Now, the Smart Pistol is a bit of an oddball when it comes to practical use, with 2 modes of operation available. When held naturally, the weapon will lock on to hostile targets, and is capable of landing critical headshots when doing so. This helps to minimize the number of shots needed with the weapon, but does require that you wait for a successful sequence of locks before firing. Enemy minions are the easiest targets to acquire, taking between 100 and 200 milliseconds to lock on. Grunts will require just a single lock, whereas the more resistant Spectres will need 2 to dispatch. Enemy pilots are considerably tougher to tackle. You'll need 3 locks to kill with a single volley, and each lock can take up to 800 milliseconds to acquire. Locks can be secured on separate targets simultaneously, as long as they lie within the weapon's scanning zone, a 45-degree cone by default. Close-range targets will permit faster locking, with the weapon able to home in on enemies within a 20-meter range. You can stack up to 12 locks before firing, meaning you can potentially slay a large number of opponents with just a single trigger pull. You engage the free fire mode by aiming down the weapon's sights, where you'll lose the auto-targeting ability, but will be able to manually direct your shots. This can prove more effective against enemy pilots, but you do lose some effective damage as a result. An uninjured opponent will take 4 rounds to kill. Versus Titans, the weapon performs quite well on a per-shot basis, but the semi-automatic fire and limited magazine capacity may mean you'll need a few reloads to doom a foe. Effective range is quite surprising, in that there is no damage drop-off whatsoever. The only issue at a longer range is landing shots, which can be difficult on a moving target. Recoil is tolerable if you moderate your rate of fire, but a lower than average intrinsic accuracy and a need to land 4 shots on pilots will hamper effectiveness. While the consistent damage is nice, there's no getting around the fact the Mark 5 is best in closer quarters. Hipfire performance is quite good, but despite this, it is far better to acquire a lock before pulling the trigger. A single precise volley will always prove more effective than indiscriminate fire. Rate of fire is capped at 480 rounds per minute. This is dispensed automatically when locked on, otherwise it comes down to your trigger finger to dole out semi-automatic fire. Magazine capacity is on par with typical expectations of a handgun, 12 rounds by default or 18 with extended mags. When applied accurately, this is normally enough for most needs, and in any case reloads are very quick, always taking under 1.5 seconds. Handling is generally very good all round, as the Smart Pistol is a lightweight weapon. You won't need to aim when locking on, but in the cases where you do, it will take just a quarter of a second to raise your sights. Switch times are rapid too, and you'll move at the highest possible speed, 100% mobility. The Smart Pistol's primary purpose is for rapidly tackling large groups of weaker enemies, minimizing the time that you're exposed on radar. It works particularly well in a mobile stealth build, as you will need to avoid direct combat. The weapon's iron sights are simple but adequate enough for the times you'll need them. A simple rear notch and front post combo with yellow indications. As the weapon is intended primarily for close-range use, there are no optical attachments available. You are offered 3 choices of mod, however, first of which is Enhanced Targeting. This will speed the pistol's performance, decreasing lock delays and permitting acquisition over a longer range. It does narrow the targeting scan range to 36 degrees instead of 45, however, making this option more effective against tougher targets slightly further away. The suppressor will keep you off your enemy's minimap when you fire, although this does come at the cost of some effectiveness, as you will find locks take longer to acquire. This can severely hamper your performance against enemy pilots, but if you can successfully exploit these stealth benefits, this may not be an issue. Finally, the extended magazine grants 18 rounds in place of 12, extending your ability to tackle large groups. But given the rapid reload times, this is of limited utility. Overall, the Enhanced Targeting mod is the most effective option, extending your targeting envelope and speeding acquisition. However, the suppressor can also work very well within a stealth role, but you should seek to avoid enemy pilots, as your only advantage will be in striking from an unseen position. Avoiding direct confrontation should be your priority, whichever choice you make. The Smart Pistol works best when used in a covert role. Quickly harvest your enemy's minions and otherwise prey on the unaware, then swiftly return safely to the shadows. Your cloak will be an indispensable part of your loadout then. While only partially effective against enemy pilots, it will allow you to traverse the battlefield with decreased odds of attracting enemy attention. Along with stealth, mobility is another important consideration. While you don't necessarily have to elect the enhanced parkour kit, taking less obvious routes can help you to evade your enemy. Wall hanging is a particularly effective tactic. The Smart Pistol doesn't require you to aim down your sights, so you can cling hidden out of sight, while your pistol aims for you. Also useful is the Minion Detector. This will let you see where enemy grunts and spectres are located. A vital companion to the Smart Pistol, as these lesser enemies should be your prime target. It's important to remember that while the automated targeting makes the slaughter of weaker enemies effortless, facing enemy pilots is an altogether more risky affair. The Smart Pistol Mark V is a unique weapon that is purpose-built for a mob grinder role. There is no weapon more efficient at tackling enemy minions, with a field of grunts yours to reap, with just a single trigger pull. This makes for a potent choice in battles of attrition, where quickly racking up an advantage will accelerate your Titan build and put you in good stead for victory. Unfortunately, the Smart Pistol does not fare well against conventional weapons. The slow lock time versus enemy pilots and limited effective range will put you at a distinct disadvantage against an aware enemy. In many cases, your secondary weapon may prove to be the more reliable choice versus pilots. The Smart Pistol pales in potential fire rate and damage when bypassing the targeting systems. Still, the Mark V is a weapon designed for quite a specific role, and it fulfills it rather well. So, if you're looking for a weapon with a little targeting assistance, there's really only one smart choice. Thank you very much for your presence, and do join me next time when we'll be covering the R97 Compact SMG. Until then, farewell.